welcome back. In my previous video, I discussed how Jurassic World struggles in areas of catering too much to fan service, having a weak ending, and not having a clear message. In this video, I will be covering the final 2 points of poor writing and underdeveloped characters. At this point in my video, I want to do a little compare and contrast. The beginnings of these two films are very different, and also one is vastly superior than the other. In Jurassic World, we begin with us witnessing the birth of two new dinosaurs. An obvious throwback to this scene. We get the classic title font, and we then immediately cut to reveal a quaint little home where we are introduced to two very unlikable and forgettable child characters. Right off, we don't care, and we haven't gotten any sort of taste of what is to come, other than annoying teenage angst. Now, contrast this with the opening of the 1993 film. The movie begins with a group of park workers who are moving a dinosaur to its new enclosure. This job quickly becomes extremely dangerous as one of the workers is attacked by the animal. This is the perfect intro as it gives us a taste of the sheer terror and suspense we will soon see. Jurassic World tries too hard to hide its secrets by waiting an entire 18 minutes into the movie to even show us a glimpse of dino terror. In the original film, being told that velociraptors are the most dangerous creatures ever to walk the earth is only to capitalize on something we already understand and know, because we've seen it. There are three primary plot issues that I have with this movie. The first is revealed when Claire says,
"Let's be honest, no one's impressed by a dinosaur anymore."
Okay, this is putting it mildly a bit of a leap in logic. She makes the comparison between a stegosaurus and an elephant. Now, according to the American Zoo and Aquarium Association, there are over 10,000 zoos worldwide. If you expect me as an audience member to believe that many zoos are able to be open and operate in the world, but the one park in the entire world that exists where you can see real-life dinosaurs is struggling with attendance, you're out of your mind. Thousands and tens of thousands of people go to zoos every year, and they look at ordinary elephants and tigers and bears. In this universe, Jurassic World is the only park that offers these attractions, so to say that people don't want to see regular old dinosaurs anymore is just a little bit ridiculous. Second, velociraptors have become nothing more than orca whales who do tricks for food and are trained. Now, this one isn't my own personal bias, as I enjoy the first movie so much. The previous three films spent extreme amounts of time selling the idea that velociraptors are the smartest and most deadly animals ever to have lived. Now you expect me to believe that they are going to be trained to perform for crowds of people like dolphins? I don't think so. This is like taking Darth Vader and making him out to be a whiny, wimpy, angsty teenager. Oh wait, they did that. And it was horrible. Third, dinosaurs as weapons. This is just stupid. Need I say more? Making velociraptors become weaponized creatures that are going to fight terrorists in Afghanistan has got to be one of the stupidest villain plots ever written. I truly am baffled that someone sat in a room and said, "I've got a great idea. Let's turn dinosaurs into Al-Qaeda hunters." And no one told him to shut up and go home. It just doesn't make any sense. It is the major plot elements of the creation of the Indominus Rex and the weaponizing of dinosaurs that really gets me to scratch my head at the writing for this movie. The creators of this definitely felt that they needed to do something drastically different and new in order to get people's attention. However, there are better plot elements that could have been taken from the book. The original movie touched on a few of these, but not all of them. In the book, there is a whole subplot about the animals getting off the island. This would have made for an interesting dynamic when looking at approaching another sequel. Also, the original film touches on, but doesn't really go into too much depth about the fact that these animals can breed. So here we have this idea that the park is now open and functioning. So why not address some of these concerns that the book did and expand upon them? About the issues of unauthorized breeding and animals getting loose and escaping to the mainland. This could have made for a much more interesting and grounded plot, as well as it would have opened up the door for a deeper and more meaningful commentary. Okay, so this movie has plot holes. So this movie has flaws in its storytelling. So there are some really silly aspects to the story itself. Even though all these things are true, the real problem doesn't lie here. It lies in the characters. Any movie that is silly or unbelievable or has a lot of plot holes can be enjoyable and even likable if you like, care, and connect with the characters. Otherwise, a movie, no matter how well made, ends up being very lifeless. So many movies have this problem nowadays. In fact, there have been countless movies recently that deliver quality films but end up ultimately coming across as meh because of the lack of strong characters. None of the characters in this movie are memorable. None of the characters in this movie pull us into any sort of emotional connection. None of these characters change. And finally, none of these characters are even real characters. They are caricatures. A caricature is a picture, description, or imitation of a person or thing in which certain striking characteristics are exaggerated in order to create a comic or grotesque effect. Too often, this is how people are written for the screen. This is ultimately one of the primary problems with most films, and this one is no exception. In fact, it is a prime, almost perfect example. In the end, Jurassic World isn't the worst movie ever made. There are far worse films out there. However, I take issue with a film that not only received high praise as well as being one of the highest grossing movies of all time, having so many fatal flaws. The point is, we should have a higher standard for filmmaking. If our standard is simply to be able to go into a dark room and watch flashing lights for 2 hours and be entertained, then we are missing the point. Film should say something profound. Yes, even the blockbusters. We should gain something whenever we watch one. Otherwise, what's the point?
So there you have it. That's my thoughts about the movie. What do you guys think? Do you like the movie? Do you not like the movie? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Be sure to like this video, guys, and once again, share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe so that you can join the watch.